The judge has officially made a ruling in the Terraform Labs case calling Luna a security. Ben Armstrong, known as Bitboy Crypto, thinks that the XRP price will start moving in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And the last thing that we're going to be going over, and probably the biggest piece of news, is the SEC has to apologize to the courts. Make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out all the details. Hey guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone, I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started, it's going to be Saturday, December 30th. Today's my birthday. I wanted to make a quick video. A lot went on in the news just recently, and gonna go spend some time with my family right after. The total market cap right now for all cryptocurrency is $1.66 trillion. This is a 0.34% increase on the day today. So we're slightly in the green. Fear and greed index, we are down just a little bit. That was because of yesterday. We saw a slight retrace. We're at a 68 in our last video. We were at a 70. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $42,401, Ethereum $2,300, and XRP right now at 62.53 cents. Getting into our biggest gainers and losers on the day today, we got ICP as our biggest gainer, up 18.9%. We got FTT, hate to see this up there, but it is up 11.2%. And then ORDI right now at 10.4%. Biggest losers on the day, we got WeMix down 10%. We got BSV down 4.2 and Bonk is down 5.7. It's nice to see XDC rolling up. We got a little bit of news going on with them, and then VeChain also an XLM, some tokens that I like to see that I do currently hold. Getting into our news though, anything that affects financial markets we're going to talk about. So it could be related to stocks with the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, political stuff that's going to be in here as well, and mainly focused on cryptocurrency. So right here, the administration sends another aid package to a certain country that starts with a U. We won't say it, but we all know what we're talking about. We just sent another $250 million in a shipment that includes arms and ammunition. We've sent over $150 billion to this country in the last year. Put your guys' thoughts down in the comments, what you guys think. While American citizens are struggling right now, our tax dollars are going to other countries right now. The Michigan Supreme Court shot down an attempt to remove former President Donald Trump from their primary ballot for presidential election in 2024. So we saw that the Colorado Supreme Court barred former President Trump from their ballots for presidential election. Right now, it is being appealed to the Supreme Court. So right now, it's shifted just a little bit. He is now allowed to appear on the ballot pending a Supreme Court decision. But we have right here a senior legal analyst over at CNN says that Maine Secretary of State Sheena Bellows removing former President Trump from the ballot was based off of things she saw on YouTube clips and would never pass the bar in a normal court. So she came out and stated that in Maine, so he did get removed from the ballot in Maine as the second state to do this. Now it's the only state doing this because it has been appealed to the Supreme Court. This one will probably get appealed too, but it says in Maine, this is what her statement right here. In Maine, we are very proud of voting rights. We are the first in the nation in 2022 with voter participation. And we have a statute that makes it makes me different from any other state that I have observed, said Bellows. My obligation under Maine state law was to issue a decision very quickly. I am not permitted under Maine law to wait for the United States Supreme Court to intervene in this particular proceeding. So we have Sheena Bellows coming out and stating that she is essentially above the Supreme Court, the law of the land in the United States. By doing this, she doesn't have to wait for them, okay? Obviously, this is going to get to the Supreme Court. They're going to make the end-all decision, but she doesn't want to wait for that. Why? Well, we all know the reasons why, but put down your guys' thoughts in the comments. Looks like voter suppression to me. Canada to implement a universal basic income of $2,000 per month. It doesn't matter how much money you make, you are eligible for this. In this, right now, the law is being proposed. It's a bill, and it hasn't been passed yet, but this would be crazy if this happens. This guy explains that you have to be above 17 years of age for you to be able to receive this, and he says that he doesn't believe that this is really a good idea. They have high inflation right now, what's going on in their country, and they've seen what's been going on with a lot of the aid packages of what happened during the pandemic. Elizabeth Warren shares that the average American pays $140 to file their taxes each year, while giant tax prep companies rake in billions, but it doesn't have to be this way. Next year, the IRS is launching a pilot program to give many taxpayers the option to file for free and directly with the government. And Wendy O, Crypto Wendy, says that this should have been the deal of inception of the IRS, which I completely agree with. We are now paying all of our money to the federal government to basically fund whatever they're doing, but we have to pay to do this. The federal government knows how much money we pay in taxes. We have to file correctly, and if the numbers don't match, we can pay several fines and face possible jail time. It's ridiculous. Bitcoin is expected to correct to as low as 32,000 next month, following a potential approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF, according to a data provider. So I wanted to touch on this, and there's a lot of speculation about this going down. A lot of people are stating that they're in gains right now from their cryptocurrency, and they don't want to sell right now because then they're going to have to pay that money in taxes coming very soon. So what a lot of people are doing is, this is just, again, predictions, is they're waiting until the new year. When the spot Bitcoin ETF approval happens, there's going to be a massive sell-off. So I wanted just to bring this to your guys' attention, just so you guys can be aware of this. I think it might be a little bit true. I don't know if we're going to drop down to 32,000, but there's always a statement in cryptocurrency: buy the rumor, sell the news. So right now the rumor is that the spot Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved. And if approved, then the price is going to drop drastically. Again, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's been going on since the inception of cryptocurrency. MicroStrategy has just purchased an additional 14,620 Bitcoin, roughly about $615 million worth. This is our Watcher Guru news. U.S. Congressman Tom Emmer announces he is co-leading a SEC stabilization bill in an effort to fire Chair Gensler. We're going to talk about Gary Gensler here in a little bit with the SEC and their apology. India to ban 9 crypto exchange URLs: Binance, Kraken, Hubo, KuCoin, Bittrex, Gate.io, Bitstamp, Bitfinex, and Mex C Global. India likes cryptocurrency, in my opinion, but for them to ban all of these, they're just picking and choosing winners and losers in their own country. We'll see what happens. A lot of these companies right now are doing spot Bitcoin ETF commercials. Here's another one that was just released. And then this is why Bitcoin went down in price yesterday. So there was $11.06 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum options that expired, and this was yesterday. So if we look at our price of Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, I'm going to have to look at the charts here. We did reach a low of $41,605. So roughly about $800 back to where we were, but that's just what was been going on. Judge denies Binance founder CD's request to leave U.S. before sentencing again. So he's trying to leave the United States. He believes that he's probably going to face some jail time here in the U.S., so he wants to kind of bounce. We'll see what happens with it, though. And this is one of the big things that we talked about right in the beginning. Judge rules against Terraform Labs and SEC fight, calling Luna and MIR tokens of unregistered securities. So in this, the judge decided to rule against Terraform Labs and Luna. There was a lot going on with this case. This is where the Luna token was around $99 to $100 and then tanked within 30 minutes down to less than 1 penny per token when they massively created a bunch. So it says the U.S. federal judge ruled on Thursday that Terraform Labs, creator of the ill-fated Terra and Luna cryptocurrencies, violated federal securities laws when it sold cryptocurrencies to the public. Judge Jed Radkoff of the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York ruled in a summary judgment that Terraform Labs failed to register Luna and MIR and another cryptocurrency in the Terraform ecosystem as securities. The summary judgment could shape an eventual trial, which is going to happen next month, over the Terraform securities violations. He denied both parties' efforts to exclude testimony from opposing witnesses that have studied the trading activity that led to UST's depegging in May of 2022. So depegging of the UST, so this is their stable coin, supposed to be pegged to $1 and it depegged. But the judge blocked 2 other defense witnesses, one of whom would have testified on activity in Terraform's custodial wallets, and that the other would have given the jury an overview of Terraform's crypto ecosystem. The ruling falls in line with the assertion that most cryptocurrencies ought to be classified as securities and fall under the agency's purview. The court's judgment only recognized the SEC's right to oversee 2 cryptocurrencies, Luna and MIR, however, which I agree with. They're not fighting all cryptocurrencies as this. He's only ruling on these 2 right here. Terraform Labs believes the tokens and considerations are not securities. We strongly disagree with the decision. Do not believe that UST stablecoin or the other tokens in the issuers are securities. And there, so basically, it just goes on about this. We have some little bit right here we talked about the trial next month, but we got some attorneys that are on X right now, and they go talking about a lot of the stuff related to cryptocurrency. This is Jeremy Hogan. He's my favorite one. It says, how can a stablecoin be a security? How can you buy something that is pegged to $1 and expect profit from it? Per Judge Radkoff in the SEC Terraform Labs case, a stablecoin is a security when you can stake it for a return on your investments, regardless of whether you do or not. So you can stake cryptocurrencies and receive a profit from it. A lot of cryptocurrencies, especially stable coins, you can get roughly about 5%. Obviously, you have to hope that cryptocurrency is going to be around, so you're putting it a little bit at risk. But per this ruling, anything that you expect to make profit off of, even like your dollars in the bank, can be considered securities, because if you have money in your savings account, you're essentially receiving a profit from your bank for having money in it. And to my knowledge, the US dollar is not considered a security. Stuart Alderati, who's the chief legal officer over at Ripple, says, I have no firm view of the merits of the Terraform case, but here are a couple of thoughts on yesterday's rulings. Number one, facts matter. Judge Radkoff does not criticize, let alone even cite Judge Torres' Ripple's ruling, which I agree with, which was great. I don't think that he did do that. And that the SEC's forever crypto ground war fight, token by token and lengthy litigation, is a fool's errand driven by a quest for political power over sound policy. And we agree with this, because if it's over each cryptocurrency, there's over 2 million tokens. So the SEC is going to fight a never ending battle of over 2 million cryptocurrency tokens, and they're going to keep on creating new tokens. So in my opinion, this is completely ridiculous, and Stuart Alderati wants to point that out. And if you guys want to, Meta Lawman, he goes into a lengthy process in this thread. Again, everything's going to be down in the comments below. I don't want to read over it just because I don't have a lot of time. SBI Holdings and TradeFinex Tech have launched the SBI XDC network, APAC Co. Limited. And this is great news in my opinion. XDC is a great token in my opinion. You guys should do your guys' own independent research. And again, nothing I say is financial advice. But XDC is one of my favorite cryptocurrency tokens. And that's why after this came out, the XDC price did go up quite a bit. Was up roughly about 17%, slightly retraced just a little bit, but still performing very well. Kathy Wood believes, for those of you guys that don't know, she is the founder and CEO of ARK Invest. They ended up selling all of their Bitcoin, but they now put all of that money back into the Bitcoin spot ETF. So again, they don't hold the actual Bitcoin, but they're basically banking their investment right now on the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. And she says that the SEC approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs will give a green light for institutional investors to participate. So there's a lot of people that she's saying on the sidelines, a lot of institutional money in the trillions of dollars essentially, that is waiting on the sidelines for this ETF approval. So could that be a really good positive for cryptocurrency? I do believe so. Frederick Rapoli says that there's an update right here. This makes sense of the context of the SEC.gov trying to determine how it continue to facilitate its clients, big banks, without getting annihilated by the appellate court not granting a spot Bitcoin ETF. So he's basically talking about the approval of the ETF. He's another crypto lawyer if you guys want to read more about that one. And Chad comes out and says that cash creates for a Grayscale is a go. Grayscale is approved for launch. So in this ruling right here, Grayscale won against the SEC, and the SEC cannot stop a Bitcoin spot ETF. They just have to get their ducks in a row, make sure everything is approved properly, and they follow the law. But the SEC cannot basically just say, nope, you're not allowed to do this anymore, because they've been holding back quite a bit. Lehman Baird highlights Hedera's role, powered by Hashgraph, shaking things up in tech and collaborating with AI. Lehman Baird is the founder and CEO of Hedera. If you guys want to read more about that, you guys can. It's a Hashgraph company, different than blockchain. But hbar token is one of my favorites. You guys can read about his year in review about that as well. Binance will open up 10 new trading USDC spot trading pairs, including the following tokens: ADA, which is Cardano, AVAX, Matic, Solana, and my favorite, XRP. So that's a great announcement right now. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on with Binance, the removal of CZ as their founder, and they have a new founder. They just basically moved one of their marketing people over, and he's doing very well so far. Ben Armstrong, okay, Bitboy Crypto, says, what if I told you that the elites around the world are currently working together to push you out of Bitcoin and Ethereum? There's an active plan to go and make bad decisions during the crypto bull run. Crypto Elite Blueprint revealed. If you guys really follow him and truly believe what he says, you guys can go ahead and read this. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with him. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of it, but he basically ruined his marriage by cheating on his wife. She's filing for divorce. He's with his mistress right now and basically getting matching tattoos of his Ben coin, be everywhere now, and basically talking a bunch of stuff. He got arrested going over to one of his former co-workers' houses and threatening him and saying that he was getting threatened and stuff like that. Got arrested on live. It's crazy stuff that's been going on. But he comes out and says that XRP will be moving in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Pack your bags, boys. It's about go time. This guy lies for a living is what he says. Pack your bags is like what you had to do when you left your family. So basically everyone's just criticizing him, and he's sponsored by Stake and everything else. A lot of these people take these monies and cash grabs and sponsored by everyone. I'm not sponsored by anyone, would love to be sponsored, but I would never be a sellout in my opinion. But if you guys agree with what he thinks, to me, I hope he's right, but we'll see what happens. I do own a lot of XRP tokens. Binance 2023 end of year report has landed. Their user growth has gone up by 30%. They have 170 million registered users. They have 1.2 billion in SAFU fund. Assets available for trading are 431, and they have 1,785 trading pairs offered and 31 tokens supported in the PRO system. And there's so much more that you guys can read about what's going on with their exchange, especially after they switch transition of leadership. In my opinion, Binance is going to be around for a while. Stuart Roddy says the biggest crypto story of 2023 because he's responding to AOX, who comes out and says that there's a lot of big crypto stories, but it says that Gary Gensler suffered his worst loss with Judge Torres ruled that XRP is not a security. Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that the asset XRP today no longer qualifies for securities regulation. This was SEC Chair Gary Gensler's worst loss, coming on what has been the biggest legal issue for digital assets. How can the government categorize these instruments determines how freely they can trade in the U.S. Tokens themselves are not securities. That's the law of the land, because Judge Torres ruled that XRP in of itself is not a security, and that was great news. Maddie shares right here, breaking: SEC.gov deeply regrets errors in crypto case, asks judge to waive sanctions after misleading statements. So the attorneys for the case go and they talk about this, and here's the article of what they're going on. But they basically wanted to put a freeze on assets for Debtbox, which is a crypto firm. So if we look at the news article right here, it says the attorneys for the Securities Exchange Commission apologized to a judge on Thursday for misrepresenting facts used to secure a restraining order and assets freeze against crypto firm. In a filing submitted to the U.S. District Court of Utah in response to the judge's orders show cause for its misstep, the SEC attorneys wrote that the commission deeply regrets these orders and promised to conduct mandatory training for staff members involved in the investigation. I fully appreciate the extraordinary response and trusted in the SEC when enforcing federal securities laws, wrote SEC Enforcement Chief Gerber Gruel. I understand that the division fell short of these standards in this case, and I apologize for this shortfall. The rare rebuke of the agency stemmed from litigation filed by the SEC in July against the crypto firm Digital License Inc. or Debtbox, and a complaint that the SEC alleged that the project had defrauded investors out of nearly $50 million. So they basically go on a bunch of this, and there was a lapse in judgment. So in the 27-page response filed by the on Thursday by the SEC, attorneys acknowledged that the agency fell short. The commission cannot let the zeal to stop ongoing fraud interfere with its duty to accurate and candid, the filing states. When the judge cited potential sanctions against the agency, the SEC attorney said that the mandatory training would suffice, arguing that the staff had not engaged in bad faith conduct. Well, we've seen, in my opinion, a lot of bad faith because the SEC in and of itself cannot determine what basically cryptocurrencies are securities and which ones are not. Gary Gensler testified in front of Congress and was asked, is Ethereum, the number 2 cryptocurrency by market cap, a security? Could not say yes or no. Said that there's a lot of tokens on Ethereum, but yeah, Ethereum is a network, but the Ethereum token of itself, is that a security? And he would not state that because he wants to pick and choose the winners and losers, in my opinion. Put your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in to my video. I appreciate all of you guys. And if you guys can invest with a big dog, stay on the porch. Thank you guys and have a good one.